Hey guys, this is the homework. Okay, so I'm going to go over the homework answers from last night. Now, there's some definitions you need to remember. Supplementary, make sure these are in your notes. Supplementary angles add to 180 degrees. Supplementary straight, a straight angle. Supplementary straight. Straight angle adds up to 180 degrees. And then you're going to need to remember complementary angles add to 90 degrees. So something like this here, complementary corner. So you can remember this. Complementary corner. And then the last two, so here's the first one, second one. The third one is vertical angles. Vertical angles. And they are angles across from each other. Across from each other. So an example of vertical angles are 4 here, A and B. They're created using the same lines and they're across from each other. Vertical angles are also always equal to each other. That's something that's very important to each other. Okay, and finally the last one is adjacent. Adjacent angles are angles next to one another. So, an example, these angles here, A and angle B, those are adjacent, they're next to each other. These here are adjacent, but it doesn't give us any of these. Don't worry about alternate exterior or corresponding. You'll learn about those in ninth grade. But these also, B and A, they make a straight line. So they will also add up to 180 degrees. They are straight angle. So 1 is supplementary. 2 is adjacent. 3, these are angles next to each other. So these are adjacent. Okay, so now we're going to dive into the problem solving of these problems. Okay, so for problem 5, if I know that this is 90 degrees, I also know that this here is 90 degrees because this plus this must be 180. And so I'll have 52 plus B should give me 90 degrees. This angle plus this angle here makes 90 degrees. So when solving for the variable here, it's just a one-step equation. And B will be equal to D, 38 degrees. Okay. Problem 6, same concept, but instead of equal to 90 degrees, it will be equal to 180. So B plus 65 is equal to 180. These are supplementary angles. And these here are complementary. Okay, so I got B plus 65. I'll just subtract what I do to one side, I must do to the other. And B will be equal to 115. Okay, moving right along. 7, these are also supplementary angles, so I'll have B plus 74 is equal to 180. Subtract 74 from both sides, and B will give me D, 106. These here, this is supplementary. They add to 180 degrees. Here, it's that little box tells me that they're going to add to 90 degrees, and so this is, complementary. So I know that B plus 23 should equal 90 degrees. I'll subtract 23 from both sides, and that will give me B is equal to 67 degrees. I forgot, I'll finish that division or subtraction. Okay, now diving into more difficult ones. Okay, let me just see how much time I have left. Okay, good. All right, I've got 5 minutes for these 4 problems. Now, it's the same concept. I know that these are complementary angles. So this angle plus this angle here is going to be equal to 90 degrees. So I'm going to set it equal to 90. So the blue angle is 6x plus 5. And then if I add it to this angle, 6x plus 1, they should equal 90. Now I need to combine like terms here. The 6x and this positive 6x can be combined to make 12x. And I have now the 5 and the 1, which can be combined to 6. So 12x plus 6 is equal to 90. So now I can just first take care of the addition or subtraction. What I do to one side, I must do to both sides. So I'll have 84 is equal to 12x. And then I'll divide both sides by 12. And x will be equal to 7. Okay. Next problem here. That was probably the most difficult problem because it included some combining like terms here. One thing that's important to note for problem 10 is that vertical angles are always equal to each other. So I know that 5x plus 1, which is this angle here, is going to be equal to 51. So I'll subtract 1 from both sides, which will give me 5x is equal to 50. I'll divide both sides by 5, the inverse operation of this multiplication right here. And that will give me x is equal to 10. Okay, the last 2 problems. I know that this angle plus this angle here is going to be 90. So 25 plus 5x should be equal to 90 because of this box here. These are complementary angles. And these here are supplementary. Okay. Now I just need to solve for x. This is a positive 25. So I can subtract 25 from both sides, which will give me 5x is equal to 65. These will cancel. I'll divide both sides by 5, and x will be equal to 13. 65 divided by 5 will be 13. Okay. Next problem. I'll erase this a little bit. Okay, next problem. Last problem. So we have, okay, x minus 17, which is this angle here, plus 148, which is this angle here, should be equal to, because it's a straight line, it will be equal to 180 degrees. Now, this part here is pretty crucial. If I'm going to combine these on this side, I have to recognize that this is a negative 17. So this is taking 17 away from 148. So it's going to become x plus 131. I subtracted 17 from 148, and I got 131. And that will be equal to 180. I'll subtract 131 from both sides, and that will give me x is equal to 49. All right, so this combines every type of skill you need to know. If they're complementary, add them together and set them equal to 90. If they're supplementary, such as this, set them equal to 180, and then solve for x. And then if they're vertical, just set them equal to each other. All right, everyone. Thank you very much, and good luck.